The reintroduction of thalidomide was a very challenging moment in FDA's history because most people see thalidomide as the impetus for the Kefauver-Harris amendments in 1962, and it changed the way that clinical trials were done and that drugs came to market, and it had a profound impact on the drug industry. And people see thalidomide as kind of the central core of FDA's mission. And so when thalidomide returned a number of years ago for potential approval, there was an advisory committee meeting that was held, and nobody thought to invite people who were affected by thalidomide. So the Thalidomide Victims Association of Canada called FDA and said, that's really horrible. You guys don't care about anything and you should have spoken to us. So I was the lucky person who got to call them back. And so I spoke to this guy who was the president of that organization, and he was really, really angry. And the thalidomide indication was going to be for aphthous ulcers related to AIDS. And so his argument was there's no place in this world for thalidomide because it was such a damaging drug. And I said, well, I can appreciate that. And I said, but the people who are dealing with AIDS are dying because they can't even eat because of these ulcers. And if thalidomide is effective, isn't that a place for thalidomide? And kind of yes, kind of no. He said he could see the point, but still, based on their experience, there was no place. And there shouldn't be anybody else subjected to what they were subjected to. And we had a lot of conversations, and they were subjected to some really terrible, terrible things. And I think, what Randy was telling me was that it would have been better to have allowed those people to adapt to the world in their own way. But in the 50s, people thought the way that they should adapt would be to be like everybody else. And so they were subjected to lots of surgeries, to lots of prosthetic devices, things that were just really awful, in his experience. And so what I did was contacted people in the HIV community and said, could we all come together and talk about this? And that guaranteed that the Thalidomide Victims Association of Canada would be invited to the advisory committee when we held the next one. They got very involved. They spoke to the people from the HIV community. I think, saw that there are people who were suffering as much as they are, but from something different that could be alleviated by the use of this drug. And they got very involved with the advisory committee process. They got very involved with the company. They were involved in the labeling. They were involved in the packaging because they were so concerned that somebody else would be subjected to the ravages of this drug if it was taken during pregnancy. And I thought that was a great, great experience, that all of us had together.